Hey guys, I wanted to share an environment object I've created in Logic Pro, and it's fairly similar to Ableton Live's Beat Repeat plugin. I had been looking for an inexpensive audio unit effect for quite some time that had the same type of features as Ableton Live's Beat Repeat, and I couldn't find one at the time. I was looking for one about a year or so ago, so I decided to create this. All you need is Logic Pro. You don't need any third-party effects. I have version X here, but I created it in version 9, so I know it works in version 9. So I suppose this is kind of like an older style effect that's been kind of used and overused, but it lets you quickly get some simple rhythmic stuttering effects when you're composing. So as I said, I'm only using Logic Pro, and within Logic Pro, I'm using the tape delay plugin, and I'm taking advantage of Logic's environment. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. So I have a 4-bar groove here, beat, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cycle it through one time, and then on the second pass, I'll start manipulating the beat repeat. And all I'm doing is just pressing notes down on my MIDI keyboard. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea of kind of what's going on here. So what is going on? I didn't want to get too much into detail about the environment here or exactly how I created this. That's probably for another longer video. But I have the object here in its own layer in the environment. So if I expand this a little bit, I'm going to go in, I'm going to turn off protect positions and frameless floating window. I'm just going to blow up the environment a little bit. So the environment is kind of like the guts of Logic. Every Logic project has the environment in it, and they're essentially layers that have clicks and ports, MIDI instruments. These are all common to every project. I've created my own layer, just called it devices, and that's where I put the tape delay beat repeat after I created it. And I have another copy of it in this layer that shows you sort of the inner workings. It's kind of messy here, but the cabling, and these are all transformer objects, splitters, and different things like that. So by itself, this thing isn't really going to do anything. I need to connect it to something in Logic so it can do what it needs to do. The two ways I have it connected to my project. And the first way is I have it connected to the aux channel that is the bus for my beats that has the tape delay effect plugin on it. So I'm going to go up to this arrow up here. I'm going to say Option, click. I'm going to go down here to Mixer, aux, and I'm going to choose my Beats aux. Okay, so now it's connected to that. And the other way I have it connected is I have it assigned to a channel in the main window. So I intentionally deleted that so I could show you how I did that. Just going to kind of open that up a little. So I'm going to my main window and I'm just going to select, this is kind of how I do this. I go in here and take any channel. Here is my Beats aux. I'm just going to make a copy of that with a key command. I'm going to go over here. And if I can get to it, with this, I'm going to select MIDI through tool here. And as you see, as I press the Apple key, it will switch to that MIDI through icon there on the mouse. So now with this Beats channel selected, I'm going to click on this, okay, and you can see how now this environment object is assigned to a channel strip. And basically what that's going to allow me to do is I can play this now like a MIDI instrument. So, you know, and any sort of MIDI information, note on or note off or CC controllers, I can just basically play this instrument and it'll play the beat repeat. Okay, I wanted to show you some of the different controls that I have on the beat repeat object itself. This first thing, it says plugin number. And basically what that's saying is which plugin slot or insert slot do I want to affect, or do I want to have the tape delay on. So here I have the tape delay on the 5th insert slot, and I have it selected over here. So if I wanted to change that, I could just maybe move that to 3rd insert, and then I would move this to 3, and now it's affecting the 3rd slot. All right, so moving over here, I have bottom note and top note, and basically that sets the range of MIDI notes that I will have to work within to assign the different rhythmic values to. So down below here I have the different MIDI notes and their corresponding beat repeat value. So when I hit a C3 on my keyboard, it is going to create a full measure's worth of beat repeat, or that 1-to-1 basically means a whole note or a full measure of 4/4. When I hit the C# 3, I'm going to have a half note's value of beat repeat. D3 will be quarter note, and so on and so forth. And I try to have some dotted values here and some triplet values as well. So I want to show you how the different tape delay plugin parameters change as I play the different notes on my MIDI keyboard. So again, I'm staying within the ranges of C3 to B3. And you'll notice as I'm playing the different keys that certain parameters are consistently changing to the same value each time I hit a different key. So whenever there's a note on message, or when I play a note on my MIDI keyboard, freeze turns on, dry goes to 100%, and wet goes to 0%. And then when I release the key, which is a note off value sent to Logic, freeze turns off, dry goes to 100%, and wet goes to 0%. So what this is doing is basically turning on and off the tape delay. And when the freeze button is on, what it does is the freeze button is basically the thing that makes that stutter effect happen. So the variable that occurs in all of this is here in the groove area of the tape delay plugin. And that's what's going to create the different rhythmic values of the beat repeating. So again, when C3 is pressed, it's programmed to make a whole note beat repeat. You can see it switch to a whole note. C#3 will make a half note, D3 quarter note, and so on and so forth. To make the dotted note values, I had to program the groove percentage to change to 75%. So from 50% to 75%. And then to make the triplet beat repeating values, I had to program it so that the percentage would switch to 66.666%. So the other aspect I have programmed is with this smooth fader right here. And smooth, what that does is it kind of smooths out the LFO rate. And what I found is that when I have a quick switch between a lower and a higher smooth rate, it'll create these pitching effects. So how I have it set up is that a harder hit on the keyboard will switch to a higher smooth setting. And when I play softer, it goes to a smaller smooth setting. So if I don't want any of those pitching effects, I can just play quieter. But if I want something to kind of have this pitching effect, I'm going to hit it harder. So let's see if I can get that to work a little bit. So another thing I have over here is this this purple box here. It says B3 1/1 loop, and what that is when you hit B3, it is going to freeze and hold, so it will beat repeat the last measure or the last 4 beats of what was playing. So if you did any manipulating or beat repeating within that previous measure, it will beat repeat your beat repeating. So see if I can get some of that going. last thing I want to show you how to do is how to record your glitches and beat repeating into Logic so you can play them back. So up until now, we've just been doing it live, but to record it, it's just as simple as recording any kind of software instrument. You just press record on Logic, you record, you get a MIDI region, and then you can edit it just like you would any other MIDI region where you can quantize it, you can change the velocities of the notes, you can move the notes around, make them longer, shorter, whatever. So I recorded a short thing in here, so I'll just play it without it first, and then I'll as it cycles through, I'll unmute it and play it. Well, hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap the video up for now, but I hope to add another video sometime in the future that maybe goes into a little more detail of how I created this. But I would love to see y'all take an idea like this and run with it, expand upon it, make it better, dig into Logic's environment a bit. So my name is Jeff Culp, and I'll see you later.